1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1950 amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant pluralism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools, the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrills with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant pluralism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools: the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design. Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrives with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant tourism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools: the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrives with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant tourism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools, the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrives with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant tourism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools, the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrives with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you.
very difficult to select, to recruit the right people. It is very, very difficult to assess the qualities of unknown candidates. So somebody studied at Bukerere for their undergraduate, they go to ECU for their masters, and they come to Nkumba to do a PhD. You don't really know them, apart from seeing their CV, and maybe if you ask them to write something and looking at their transcript, you don't really know them. You don't know their passion, you don't know their perseverance, you don't know whether they can be independent, you don't know how much they can tolerate pressure. Because a PhD, I think most of us have gone to a PhD. There is something about a PhD that requires somebody to be resilient. If you're not resilient, however bright you may be, you can't complete a PhD. And so if you don't know that person, and you don't know the potential they have for being able to manage pressure, the potential to keep going even when it looks like, I don't think I want to continue with this. You recruit them, you select them, and when they are here, 1 year down the road, you find that you're not matching, you're not fitting anymore. And the other thing that makes it very difficult is that it's very unreliable for you, people who write references. They are very unreliable. I'm one of those usually students come to me, I'm applying, please write me a reference letter. I usually ask them, the ones who ask me, I usually ask them, if I've not supervised them, if I've not, I have to ask them lots of questions and get their CV and all that before I write. But I've also noticed we usually require our students to submit reference letters before they can be admitted. But you read a reference letter and you can see this person really doesn't know the person, doesn't know their capacity to do. The other thing is that while the first one talks about people who you didn't teach, but also there are those who are from your institution, and there is that desire to take the people you know because you think it's much easier, and also that goes in reading. So I'd like us to split in groups of 5 people and discuss these questions. And then we'll come back and report back. We'll have 5 minutes. You just group yourselves, yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, like with B6. We have 1, 2. This one comes 2, 1, 2. We can have 1, 2.
Unfortunately, we don't have the pictures, so we shall just go into come back. So you have a video. 10 minutes to discuss. And then you're familiar with are you familiar with your recruitment
Sorry, we are
That is the weakness we need to explain
recruitment at Nkumba University. When it comes to issues of relation with the process, all the members of Group 4 mentioned that they do understand the process, and I want to mention the members of Group 4 that is Associate Professor Ika, Associate Professor Nkumba, Associate Professor Norman, myself, and Dr. Bosa. So those are the members. In case of questions, you send to them. One, when it comes to the recruitment process, there is application, then the students present a synopsis, then the students are also subjected to an aptitude. Later, when they pass, they are admitted.
Number 5.
That is our process here. The director will add more tested to this here. Then when it comes to the responsible organs of entities, we have the academic registrar's office, which handles the admissions. Then we have several committees, but for this particular case, we want to calculate the vetting committee. Then the Directorate of Postgraduate Studies and Research coordinates the entire process as the secretariat. Then at the same time, we have the academic registrar admitting our students. Then there was an aspect on we call it workability. How are we doing it here? How are we ensuring that we're successful as a university when it comes to these project programs? We exhibit a high level of teamwork. I think our visitors you have seen, most of the supervisors are here. Then also there is a timely response between the committees and the directorate. And also we always have meetings scheduled between the supervisors and the supervisees. Now the most interesting part are the weaknesses and challenges. Group 4 members mentioned that the issue of non-timely remuneration of supervisors could affect our PhD program here. So there is no timely remuneration. Then also we're having a challenge of the weakness of staff versus the workload. You find like Dr. Soto, let me give myself as an example. I'm supervising PhD, I'm examining PhD. At some point the university attempted that I did 7 course units. I have to supervise undergraduate research, I have to supervise masters, I have a family to look after. So there is a lot of things. So teaching load and supervision load. Then also we have limited infrastructure as of current. And lastly, what I mentioned, when it comes to communication, that time lag between the comments given to the students to address versus when they give back the revisions somehow affects our program. I thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope I have not covered this thing. Thank you.
Let's give Group 4 a round of applause. Thank you. Group 2 was next. Ready? You will come and present. And then we can have a discussion when everybody has presented.
Thank you, members. Thank you, Professor Simo, for organizing this. I'm Dr. Josephine. This is Group 2. Are we familiar with the recruitment process? Yes, we are familiar, and that is how it goes. The student applies, then the student presents a concept paper or the synopsis. Then that student also sits an aptitude test. And then if he passes, an admission is issued out, plus the supervisors. Then who is responsible? Both the supervisor and the institution, they are both responsible and they follow the PhD guidelines. And then we also have the admission policy. This is with the academic registrar's office. Then the weakness. There are so many good things. Another question was, are these things working? Yes. For Nkumba University, they are working properly. Then we have weaknesses. The group four members, Dr. Baho, Dr. Rachel, Dr. Diana, and Dr. Susan, and Dr. Kapopo, they mentioned that one of the weaknesses, we have supervisor's character. That one, Dr. Abaho can elaborate more on that. Then we have failure of students to attend PhD seminars. Nkumba University it has a very good program for PhD seminars. And it really, me as a PhD candidate from Nkumba, it helped me so much. And bravo to Professor Sim, it's really very good. But you have some students who don't attend. So when you miss a seminar, you really miss a lot. Then overload, Dr. Usoka has already talked about this. And the professor mentioned it, PhD, you have PhD supervisors with over 10 PhD students, and they also do masters, and they have to teach. And actually some of them, like Dr. Bako is also a dean, is having an office, so really those are really, there's a workload. Then there is also another issue. We have different panel members at every stage. Members, you do a synopsis, a different panel of 10 people, they attend to your synopsis. You go on a project, or a proposal presentation, a different panel now. They are quite different actually. You may not even receive one who attended your synopsis does not appear on your proposal. That's a different panel. Now you go on findings presentation. It is still a different panel. So what happens? Every time you are presenting your paper, I'm telling you, these people, it is new. It is new. They don't have. There are normally issues. So, and then finally at Viva, it is a different panel. So my request, if possible, can we have a particular member of panel, 5 people from day one synopsis, they listen to you. You go to proposal, they are the same people, panel member, you go to findings, they are the same people, and then they take you through, as we do with the maybe undergraduate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Group 2. What is a supervisor?
Doctor can clarify. Who is the supervisor?
I picked it from the two, being recently actually graduates. The supervisor. And the idea is this supervisor who does not listen to the ideas of the supervisee is he, she is literally a know-it-all. And you either take his or her direction, or there is no direction.
Thank you. Thank you. Group 3 was next. Did we give a round?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. From Group 3, my name is Senator Noah, and we have about 6 members just running the corner. Question 1 is about whether we are aware of the recruitment and selection process, and our response is yes. And we detailed that process by being the detailed process. Begin with the application. When you apply, you go through an aptitude test, which you must pass. And when you pass the aptitude, you proceed to present your idea, a concept. Then you are assessed. Down for that process, you have scored. Not below 60%. That's the minimum. Then after that, then the admission formally is that's where they go the process of admission, and after that you are allocated the then the seminars can begin. That's when you are formally now on board. And then the one responsible is, in our view, is the institution. And the institution also has a committee called the PhD Vetting Committee, which handles that task of selection and admission on behalf of the institution. But of course, this committee works in consultation with the high authorities. And then what is working well, yes, we are singling out the admission process. We think that the process is quite robust. And the process, in terms of time management, it's not much time that is taken to give feedback. Feedback comes, and of course, the applicants will know whether they are onboarded or not, and if they have issues, reports are issued to these people. In other words, that timely feedback enables them to prepare psychologically and otherwise to begin their studies. Then after that, of course, you allocate the supervisor, and then you start the journey. But of course, after allocation of the supervisor, I talked about the seminars. That is also one sort of thing. The seminars are intended for a full year, one seminar per month, to equip the students with the requirements of the research process. And then what is not going well, the weaknesses, one, we are singling out inadequate human resources, overload. Sometimes too many supervisors, therefore actually beyond 4, 5, 6. You can imagine, and that's not the only work you do, but they also have to supervise masters. They also have undergrads, and some of them have administrative roles, and others in the different disciplines. So we think that that is somehow an issue, a challenge. And then the other one is the funding gaps. I think Dr. Usoke explained something to do with the, because of the funding gaps, the delays in regulation, etc. And also funding some of the programs, such as this one. For instance, we put this, like a workshop like this, in my view, would be annual. I think we have it once every year, but now it has come. It has never been there, for instance. So, but the point would be funding. And then I think the workflow related to the last question is this one. This is how we really look at that process. But within each of these, there are several other aspects there. Thank you very much.
Does the supervisor come in that workflow? Thank you, Alice. The question was at this point, the supervisor coming in that chat.
The supervisor comes in here at the point of interview and admission. Of course, you are allocated, and after that, the director encourages you to initiate contact with the yes, and then the process can go. Thank you very much.
This has been very good. Group 1, you think is hidden, but now it's your turn. Your paper is hidden.
Thank you very much. Well, we had question 1. We are familiar to the process, all processes of postgraduate research. And two was who is responsible. We have the registry as the starting point because that's where we have applications made. Then they are moved to the directorate. Then the directorate convenes the vetting committee to assess the synopsis presented. And then we can have supervisors appointed to supervise. Then we have Senate at the next level because it has the deans, they have to receive what has been approved from the vetting committee. Then question 3 was, we have all levels of management performing well. There is only one challenge at that level, that the supervisor's responsiveness to calls sometimes is registering a gap because of the overwhelming that has been mentioned by the earlier presenters. Then 4 was the inconsistency of the supervisor's attendance of meetings, which sets them back from updates that are being given, sets them back on reviews that are supposed to be made, sets them back on calling back the corrections and the amendments that have been made from one meeting to the other. Then the overload has been mentioned from the mother schools because everyone belongs to a school. So much as you allocated the students to supervise by the directorate, you still belong to your school, and we have this challenge. Then the workflow, we have application through the registry and submission of synopsis, then presentation to the vetting committee. Then the next stage is admission. When the vetting committee is satisfied with the presentation of the synopsis, sometimes you have to send them back to go and look for other topics, especially if they are not worth PhD level, they are sent back. Then we have the presentation of proposals. After admission and the allocated supervisors guide them. And it's at that point that the supervisor comes in to guide up to the proposal level. On return to defend the proposal, we have these people either approved to proceed and go to the field or not. Then on return after the field, we have the presentation of findings, and we have the marking of the dissertations following, and then lastly, the filing.
Maybe something that's important as a member of committee, between admission and presentation of proposal, there is attendance of seminars. 10 seminars for 1 year. Yeah, 10 seminars for 1 year.
Okay, I thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, now we get a chance to give any comments to this presentation. So if there is something that you saw that you'd like to comment on or you disagreed with, this is your opportunity.
Comment on?
Yes.
As I've heard from all our presentations, unlike other universities, for us when you apply, you attend the graduate admission exam, and the vetting committee is satisfied with your presentation of the synopsis and all requirements. For us, we admit you straight away by giving you 2 supervisors, and you start working with those supervisors until you defeat. So there is no first the proposal to be admitted. We admit you straight away.
Thank you. Yes. We'll have those 3 and then we'll move on. I've been reminded that my time is running out.
Once again, I would like to continue thanking the organizers of this workshop because of the opportunity to open our eyes and minds to actually what is going on. Advisors. Now, my comment is on Group 2. explained what the group actually needs. Now, this is very complex. This issue of supervisory is very complex. You may find that at one time, the supervisors is well versed with established methodology imperatives, which the student may
but normally attendance. Then the second thing is in connection with is it supervisors, etc. Well, in particular the overload. I think he mentioned in his first presentation that we do have shortage of PhD holders in this country, or in Africa as a whole, and particularly also in Uganda. And that is true. And that is where this issue of overload comes in. You find there's a lot of interest from the side of applicants PhD, and we would have actually a lot. So besides the financial issue you mentioned earlier in the first presentation, there is this issue of supervision, because we don't have enough supervisors at our universities. Thank you for your attention.
Somehow this thing was touched and my slides are sequence.
It was already connected and it was okay. Because it was already connected and it was covering. All of them were showing.
The issue of supervisors. Remember when we were in second, we had one teacher who used to call Chibu. I found him being called Chibuku. I didn't know why he was called Chibuku. Then later on, when I was in senior 4, they told me that whoever comes, he will teach them Chibuku wins. Those who did geography. Chibuku wins. So he had very old notes. He kept on looking at the same notes and teaching the same thing. So the supervisor with the 21st century trends that are coming on, the students, sometimes they know much. They are ahead of us than where we are. So it's sometimes you see the student going away, true, but we also have, as I said, if PhD is contribution of knowledge. And I always ask myself, how much knowledge do you want somebody to contribute? However little it is. Now we have massification of education. If we have millions, thousands of people doing PhDs, and you say, this topic has been exhausted, this topic has been exhausted, which topic has not been exhausted? I think we need to know this has not been exhausted or has been worked on, what part of it, or what contribution can you make on already exhausted topic that we think is exhausted. When we do that, then we allow students to express. We listen to them and we say, what do you want to make? What contribution do you want to make? However, the student will make a contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was a good discussion, but it means that I will have to cut out some of my presentation. So there is a difference between recruitment and selection. Like I said, this took me back to my PhD days when I was looking at recruitment, which is the process of attracting candidates. And then the selection is when you get a pool of applicants and you narrow it down. You filter and evaluate which of those people best fits your university. And the quality of your recruitment will impact the quality of the selection process. If your recruitment is like you use a very small pool, or you send information in a small pool, you also get a small pool to select from. And then you'll also get unsuitable applicants, which is what tends to happen in many places. And so in order to, this was going to be a discussion, but I think we won't do it. These are some of the questions that we need to ask ourselves as we recruit to attract more talent. Because like I said, not everybody has capacity to do PhD. But you'll get many applicants, even those that have no capacity. It's good to reach out widely and be able to inform people. What do you offer? What is attractive? What do they know about it? For example, what do you offer at Nkumba University? I was sitting here while you were presenting, standing here and asking myself, the way you were presenting as if all the PhDs come to the same place, and I'm sure it's not. I think they go to different schools and faculties, right? Who does the recruitment? Is it the Directorate of Postgraduate or different schools at Worshop?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Yeah, now, for us, we have 7 schools. They manage postgraduate studies, but for PhD, groups others, we coordinate them. The directorate coordinates, but the PhDs still remain at schools. Yeah. The directorate coordinates the PhDs, the process of research, process of admission, together with the AR, the whole process, but they remain at the school.
So does the market know that? Does the market know all the PhDs, for example, that you run? Those are just the questions that were running through my mind.
Yes.
We need to be able to make sure that the market, where we want to attract people from, know all the offerings that we have. Thank you very much for responding. So, when you're recruiting, make sure that your websites are informative and easy to navigate. I had planned to get us to go on your website, but the time is not there. If you go to my website, you'll be disappointed. So I don't advise you to look at the UCU one, because we are very poor at advertising our programs. But I don't know about my university. Maybe you better, because you have this IT survey. At your websites, they have all the information that you want to get out there. Make clear what you offer and what you expect. And let your supervisors publicize their research topics of interest in advance. So if I go on your website, will I find professor's profile and his research interests? Are they there at your website? Yes? All of you? Your website, on the Nkumba University website, has your profile, your research interests, the students you supervise?
Not that detail, but we have.
But you have. Yes. Some universities are not very good at that. But this helps, because if I'm looking for a PhD and I look at you to do where to apply and I look at your website, I look at your profile, I will know that, oh, I will go and Professor so and so will probably be my supervisor. And do we respond to candidate inquiries properly and professionally? I hope you do. And then, if possible, make the application process very simple. For us now, most of our applications that you see are online. I don't know about you. I think I heard you BC also talking about you having an app. And so that people don't have to come all the way to fill the form and all that. But also showcase the unique aspects of your research. What we talked about earlier. If you're a supervisor, you also need to be involved in research. And so that research, if it's on your website, if I can see it and I'm a prospective candidate, I'll get attracted. And then when you keep recruiting over time, you also get more visibility. It is very important to get the right fit. So you don't want to attract people that will get here and not complete, because it's bad for your reputation. So it's good that you attract the people that will come, they'll enjoy their experience, they'll study, they'll complete, and they go away with their PhDs. So some of the things that you need to ask yourself is, do your supervisors have the expertise? Because I've had they bring in their synopsis, right, before they start. So when you look at what the candidates have provided, do you have supervisors for that? Do the supervisors have capacity? Will you need co-supervision? I had, I think Professor Mutonyi talking about, he had one supervisor and another one who helped him in what? I don't know whether it was him or I'm thinking of somebody else. Sometimes you may have knowledge in the discipline, but not in methodology, so you may have to have co-supervisors. Is there a conflict of interest? Is the project feasible? If a synopsis shows that a project that somebody wants to do is not feasible, are you willing to take them on? Will they finish or they will stick there? But does the candidate understand the nature of PhD? I think many Ugandans have little idea about a PhD. I don't know whether it's only Ugandans or Africans generally. Honestly, when I went to do my PhD, I didn't understand a PhD. But I went anyway, and thankfully I completed. Because we don't have that culture. In Western countries, there's a culture where you have people that are going to university, you understand what a PhD is about, it's an academic thing, it's how you start research and all that. But many of us here, we go for a PhD because you finished a master's and you write and all that. I thought some of you would say some of those reasons of why people do PhDs. Just because it's there and you've gone through school, so you think that's the next level. That's what some people do. So you need to understand what this person that you're recruiting, what is their motivation? I think I'll skip that. when you're reviewing applications, be careful. Don't confuse confidence with capability. I think I saw in one of your, in your workflow, there's presentation to vetting committee. There are people who are very good at presentation and very confident, but you get them as a PhD candidate and you wish you would kick them out, but it's too late. But when they came, they wow you. So don't confuse that with capability or fluency with research potential. There are people who can speak, they are very fluent, but when it comes to being able to do the research itself, it's another thing. It reminds me of when I used to teach undergraduates. I'd have students who would be so brilliant in discussing in class, then at the end of the semester, they are the worst. And I'm asking myself, what happens between the talking in class and the writing down the exam and assignments? But there are people who are like that. So we need to be alert as we do recruitment, familiarity with merit. There are people whom you know, they are your colleagues maybe, and they want to do PhD, and you think, yeah, maybe we should recruit them, but have you thought about, do they have the capacity to do a PhD? Then there are those who do polished CV. These days AI has come. It can make somebody look so brilliant, but be careful. They may not be ready to do a doctoral research. So instead of just looking at confidence, how fluent somebody is, whether you know them, whether they have a good CV, find out what have they actually been able to do. Do you have evidence of what they've done in the area of research? Those who have done masters, what kind of dissertation did they do? Have they tried to write in other things? And make sure that you apply the same criteria. So you have this whole room of people, and they have all applied. When you're vetting, are you using the same criteria? Or some people come and you're like, we know that one, we will give them. Please judge potential, not just comfort, not because you're familiar. There are issues to do with part-time employed people. They have good things, but also they are problematic. Wow. They are also problematic because they are too busy. I don't know about you. We usually get students, then they get their workplaces, send them to other places. You're all around. One semester later, they are not coming. So they are good because they have the professional experience. They can reason. They are better than those who have just come through straight. They are able to access relevant settings, but they also have problems because of not being available. Now, it's very important that supervisors and institutions assess feasibility. Find out for those who are part-time, are they going to give sufficient time to the doctoral work? Are they realistic? I remember when I was doing my PhD, one of the people who came a PhD candidate, he had done his master's in that university, so he was so confident. He came and said, for me, in 2 years' time, I'll be gone. And I remember sitting there thinking, I was thinking my third year, and I hadn't gone far as I thought. So I was like, wow, he's brilliant. But 2 years down the road, he hadn't gone as far as he thought. So sometimes people have different expectations of what a PhD is about and how long it will take them. Do they have access to resources? Are they able to communicate with their supervisors? Will they get support from their institution? That's another thing. Sometimes people want to do PhD, but they don't tell their employers that they are studying. And so you're expecting him here as his supervisor, but his supervisor at work is also expecting them. And there's always that clash. I want to conclude with these tips. As you recruit and select PhD candidates, evaluate their genuine interest in the topic and their motivation for pursuing a PhD. I can't overemphasize that. If the person doesn't have genuine interest in the topic, they'll get halfway and wonder why they are doing this thing, because the PhD can get boring. So they need to have a genuine interest, but also the right motivation. So if there are some supervisors here, I know sometimes we want people to do a topic that's close to your heart. Let's not force students to do topics they are not interested in. For me, personally, that's one of the things that has helped me to be able to, at my PhD, I remember I almost gave up. But because I was interested in what I was doing, I was able to go on. But if a supervisor had taken me to a different topic, I don't think I would have finished. So let's be careful about that. A PhD journey is challenging. Assess the PhD candidate's ability to handle setbacks and to adapt to changing circumstances. The circumstances keep changing because it's a 3-year journey. I know there are some who do 2 years, but 3, sometimes 4, 5. I might not have had children when I started. Then I have 3 children by the time I finish. Those circumstances, you need to be somebody who's able to still be able to complete the PhD. So as you select, you'll be able to be sure to select somebody who will be able to adapt to those circumstances. And consider their fit with the research group's culture. I think this one is more about if you have a research group that is taking on a supervisor. If you're transparent about your research topics of interest, then you are likely to be approached by the right doctoral candidates to supervise them in their places, in their topic areas of interest. My time is up, so I shall conclude as the takeaways. Be able to distinguish recruitment from selection. I think, I'm talking now from my experience from a private university. Sometimes we may not get enough pool of applicants, and so we tend to take on everybody. I hope you don't have that same problem here. Because for us, sometimes we have you're expecting to have 10 applicants, you don't get all of them, and then everybody who comes gets taken. That's a mistake that we shouldn't make. Make sure that you select from the people that you have recruited. And then when you accept a candidate, it's a major responsibility. It's time consuming, but it also consumes resources. So be careful as you select so that you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting the students' time. And successful selection evaluates more than just grades. You also look at the current research interests, you also look at their resilience, you also look at their motivation, what is motivating them, and communication is very important. As you publicize your PhD and also publicize your supervisors, you'll be able to get the right candidates that will be able to complete. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much for this wonderful. We took a lot of time on it because if you have the wrong candidates, you get the wrong product. So it's important that we took time to understand. Now, Carol is going to take us into, you have now the people you have recruited, you have the numbers that you want. Now the challenge is what they are going to do feasible. Is it okay? Will they finish or they will start? You have the timelines. Doing a project which will take 10 years and he has 3 years and you actually know he will not finish. He said, we did no study and you are there. So Carol will take us through that and see how it is feasible for somebody to do the work.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm back. Probably we can stand for 1 minute. No, 30 seconds. Because we have, I don't know, it has been said that we have been accused of professors being boring. I don't know whether that's true, but you know these head, shoulder, knees and toes? Yes? Maybe we can stretch using it. And so we have to sing. And do the actions, yes? Is that okay? Okay. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees. Professors, let's bend. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, eyes, ears, nose and mouth. Faster. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, eyes, ears, nose and mouth. Okay, let's sit. We are told that we don't even know how to sing. That is what we are accused for. The accusations are many, but I don't think we are that bad. So, we have talked about recruiting, selecting, and now I have also had a new term from Uganda, supervisor. I'm taking that with me. But again, the biggest question is what is expected of us? And so I told you that this group, we met at Stellenbosch. At that time, I was quite new on the job. We had talked about the many reasons as to why we do our PhD, and sometimes we want to tell people what we think they want to hear so that you sound kind of intelligent and focused, and you are not the unfocused one. But for me, I was running away from teaching high school. And I knew the easiest way of running away from high school and the responsibility of high school's teenagers is to do a PhD so that I go to the next level. So I go to the next level, and immediately I finish, I'm given students to supervise, and I don't even know where to begin. So here I am with 3 students, and then I'm named there the first supervisor, just because I've done applied linguistics. And the students are looking at me and I'm wondering, okay, where do I begin? And then just luckily within that month, I see on email or one day is a call for some supervision training, and I tell myself, I need this one to hack it. So I went and asked if they could pay for me, because it was in rands. I was broke, definitely. And they said no. So I decided, this is now my business. I'm the one with the students. And again, we've been told once you select the student, it's a responsibility. And you don't want to taint your name that you are the supervisor who just never ensures students finish, or who produces shoddy work, especially during defenses. And so I paid for myself so that I could get to know exactly what I'm supposed to do. And one of the things that I had major issues in is that, what exactly do I look at? What is this that I will call a good project or a feasible, PhD project? What is the expectations on my side? Is it that I'm going to tell the student, okay, go come up with a proposal and then we'll get into it? Or how do I go about it? Is my work looking at the full stops and how the sentences are? Or exactly as a supervisor, how is this that I'm guiding my student? One of the professors here said this supervisor is complex. Because remember, when a student is coming as a PhD student, there are those who have the grandiose feeling that I'm going for my PhD people. I am bright and I know, and they have all these crazy ideas, not crazy, but huge ideas of what a PhD feels like. These other professors said that it was just a feeling of how professors look so intelligent. So here is a student coming in and they want to look intelligent. And they want to show that they know. Then they have all these ideas. So how do you move about it? If you tell them, okay, let us scale down here, they say, this person does not understand me. When they tell you, maybe this topic should be looked into, then again, you could be judged, yes? So it's a bit more complex than it is, really. It's quite complex, and I think all of us have to grapple with that. So the objective of this is to equip supervisors with skills to guide the students in developing and implementing a quality PhD project. Because ultimately, actually, that is, I have a feeling that is where the judgment is, yeah? And the worst is normally during that defense. For me, the worst is the defense. When the others, as a student is being examined, the supervisor is also being examined. Actually, I think the biggest examination is on the supervisor. What is this that you are producing, yeah? And so, how do we develop a feasible doctoral research project, drawing up a doctoral research plan, and the like? And I want to put a disclaimer that I don't have as much experience as quite a number of you here, or maybe even all of you, I don't know. But the fact is all of us have been handling, so we are just going to do this together to see exactly what we do. So what is this that we are calling a feasible PhD project? You could even call it master's if you wish, whichever you're handling. But this is how we mean when we say this is now feasible. And this is what will guide us on how do we guide now the candidate. One is a clear in focus. That is the research question and problem are specific enough to guide the study. So that is what we are looking out for. Another one is manageable in scope, so that the project is neither too broad or too ambitious for a PhD. And you know the ambition. I want to believe all of us were more ambitious than our final project looks like. We were actually coming to solve problems of the world. Only that we are told we can't solve everything. We have to do it one at a time, yes? Yeah, doable within time. Again, we have to consider their timelines. There are some students who come up with a concept that looks like we need 10 years. And we have to teach them or guide them on how to scale it down to fit a realistic time. And that would be maybe consideration of 2 to 3 years. Supported by appropriate methods. So we are also looking at the methods that fit the research question. And then realistic in terms of data, resources, and access. The topic could be totally good, but accessing data could be a big problem. Maybe you as the supervisor already know that, but the candidate is not aware of the challenges there could be in terms of data or even ethical considerations of the same data. Aligned with the students' preparation and support needs. So the project matches the students' current level of preparation with realistic opportunities to build missing skills. So maybe you know how you handle your students in Nkumba when it comes to the master's students. So you know and you know how much they know and how much they are prepared. But you're not only admitting students who have been here, but students from different parts and hopefully even different parts of Africa. And that means their level of preparedness could be a bit different, yeah? And then capable of producing an original contribution. What is the contribution? What contribution are you bringing in? What is new? What is the new knowledge that there is? So this is what we want to mean that this is a feasible project. Now, this is more or less of some repetition, but here, I don't know how, I think I want to ask, where do we begin? I would wish to ask especially the professors who have been there for a while, what have you seen working at the beginning? Okay, the student has seen at least there's even an aptitude test, but the student has come in with a concept, they have passed the aptitude tests, and so you have been given the student now as a supervisor. Now, go. Which is this part, where is it that you found the beginning to be more feasible? Yeah. The best way, where do you begin?
Thank you for the presentation.
My way of helping my students is, one, to look at the problem of the statement of problem, this problem statement, because the problem statement will help my student, my supervisor, to organize the research objectives. Okay. Research problem. So if there is
and the student, in the sense that perhaps is, with it in a meeting with the committee, a selection, a kind of vetting committee comprised of the supervisors mostly. And after successful presentation, supervisors are normally appointed. And then the supervisors work with the student to improve on the concept that the student has come with. And that's where we begin.
Okay. As you get the mic, my question is, do you consider maybe it was AI generated? Do you consider probably it was AI generated?
Excuse me, I wanted to add something that I left out. When I'm dealing with a PhD supervisor, in our guidelines, we have a section of theoretical perspectives. This is very, very important at PhD, whereby the theories that you have chosen to guide your study should also be reflected in the research questions. But what happens quite often is that the student just writes about the research theories, okay? Just write on them and comment on these researches without even applying them to the research questions. I was searching, and then I found this one out, that those who leave out the theories which they think that could help them to do their research, and they are not applying them in the research proposals, that is a fake research. So we have also to look at this, that the theories, you don't just mention them, but rather you have to apply them because they are going to guide you, to guide your study.
Okay, thank you. And finally, at least now the ladies are coming up. I was getting worried.
Thank you very much. I think the last thing, you mentioned something about consideration for the AI content. AI has come, and I don't think it is in our guidelines. Professor, your guide. But I don't think it has already been incorporated in our guidelines, which I think it should, such that we guide the students to know the content or the extent of AI in the work that they are presenting. What percentage is it acceptable? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, facilitator. I want to share on the perspective of masters because I have not gotten the chance to interface with a PhD, given the fact that I am an early PhD graduate. At master's level, how do I start with supervising this candidate? Facilitator, I talked about the fact that we need to check out for the feasibility of the project, and this is how I do it. I first create that relationship with this student. I sit with him, inquire, what do you think is the problem? What problem are you looking at solving? Because I'm trying to see, is it a feasible study for us to continue running? And why do you think it is a problem? And then I'll go forth. If at all I see that it is feasible, then I'll ask the candidate to go forth to at least research, read more on the previous scholars who have written on the related topic. Go extract 5 recent articles. Then read about them. What has been their output? Do you see connection? Is there a gap? You see? And if a student is in position to bring out those 10 most recent articles, then we are good to go. That is how I do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we've just done a summary of the expectations. You know why? Because all of us are supervisors. Even if it's not PhD, it's masters, and it's more or less the same, yes? So yes, problem identification, formulation of research question, identification of the methodology, the theoretical framework, and quite importantly, she said literature, the literature that surrounds that particular topic. So identifying the research gaps. One way of helping students is to do this is to get them to draw a reading map, out of the literature, and then identify. This is just an example of a reading map, and then identifying the gaps using that. Yeah. So the reading map helps students to identify different positions within, and that. So we are saying that a supervisor's duty is to help in guiding the student towards getting the research gaps. Now, this is still around literature and gap identification. I think most importantly, because I just want to draw from my experiences also that some of the students who come in with the topics haven't really sometimes gone through the research itself, the literature and the theories around that particular topic, and this helps by guiding them to do that. This helps to get the gap. defining the research question. Sometimes the questions are there, yes, but they are not refined. Yeah? The question is there, you can see it, and they know they have the questions, but they are not refined. And so we guide the student in translating the identified research gap and into a clear, focused research question. So another thing, that is the next thing we do, ensuring that the research question is refined, helping the student assess the feasibility of their research question, and considering within these research questions, you are putting into consideration the time, the resources available, and access to data. You look at the student, you look at even the country or even the continent and the kind of funding that we have. And most students, by the way, the PhD students, I don't know about here, but they are paying for themselves. They are working and paying for themselves. So sometimes one has to consider the resources available. It could be too expensive, it's scientific, experimental, and it takes millions, I don't know, millions, and you realize it's not feasible in terms of resources. So that should be put into consideration. Emphasis that the research question may evolve as the student conducts further research. I don't know whether you've had this problem that when you begin, the student wants the research question to remain as is without realizing that it could evolve over time. Yeah? As the research progresses, the question could evolve. So there are those who will complain, you keep changing. This is not what I intended. You keep changing. And no wonder the term supervisor comes in, yeah? Writing as a tool. And sometimes we as supervisors could easily forget the aspect of writing. No wonder we run to the AI so fast. Because as we are developing the questions and all that, we forget that writing is one of the critical tools for the students. Here I've had you have seminars. In Kenya we have coursework that has to be covered. So there is 1 year of coursework, and part of it is drawn from the same seminars. Now, one of the things is that 1 year for students is really nice. They get into class, they learn, they do some papers here and there, and they think, oh, that is it. Until they begin the actual writing. Then some start saying, you know, I was never born a writer. I never had a talent in writing. I was never good in languages. You know, I'm very scientific. And so writing is not my thing. So as a supervisor, that should also be on our mind on how to guide on writing, such that writing is incorporated within our guidance. And so, highly recommend that the student write their thoughts. Writing their thoughts, writing the gaps, posing questions, and they write and write, because that is what will ultimately make the project anyway. So when supervising students, it's essential to emphasize that learning is interwoven with the entire research process. And so writing has to be done. So we are looking at writing as a tool. And just a quick question, because of time, I want to ask, how do we integrate writing within the supervision? How do we encourage writing, really? So that you can also see from the onset, you can get to see what your student is writing. How are we able to, what are those small things we do to emphasize on writing? I'm not talking about writing for publication. No, we are at this beginner's stage where we are not even so sure of how our student writes, because we have just seen a concept and we don't even who typed for them anyway. Yeah? How do you ensure that writing is a process that is ongoing? Yes, please.
I think one of of the things I have to do is to see the flow of ideas. Sometimes you find that they are consistent right from the beginning when the person is beginning, and then the way he's sharing and introducing new ideas, you see there is consistency. But at times you find as if he has copied a paragraph from someone, just put it there, and things are not connected, then you suspect, no, there is something wrong here. So consistency of ideas.
Okay, thank you. Any other person on writing?
Thank you so much. I look at the relationship of the themes.
Okay.
Relationships of the themes.
Themes, okay. Okay, thank you. There was another hand just related to.
Thank you, facilitator. Rating is a continuous 24-hour process. It's not when a candidate gets a book to write that he sits at his desk, now I'm writing research. That's out of context. Research, a candidate must have a book for trapping research ideas, such that any time when the idea trickles in, he could sit down. Then when he gets at the desk to write, he will be having a composition of ideas to put on paper. Thank you.
Perfectly said, yes. Please give your colleague here. Thank you very much, Prof.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity again. I think writing, in addition to what my senior colleagues have put, are consistencies and relationship of the themes. I think writing also has to do with format. Each university has its format. Here we follow APA. For example, maybe APA 7th edition. So there are also tools which we apply or we tell the students to use, like Mendeley, EndNote, and so on. So the students, you can guide them, but you can also give them resources to go and follow. For example, online, on YouTube, from other universities. So, in summary, my contribution is the format. Yes.
Thank you very much. One more person. Okay, let's give Prof here so that it can cross over. Yes, Prof.
Thanks very much for the presentation. What I personally encourage my students, right from the beginning, is to know where to get the data from. Is it from primary data or secondary data? Now, when you get this data, make sure that on day one, you get what we call a research notebook. Okay? Anything somebody has talked to, note down the name, the telephone number. The book you have seen in the library, note it down. The author, the date, and where it's located. So that in case you're not there, somebody else can help you. So that's why I started.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yes, when I get my student, first of all, I take the student into the concepts that are expected of this person who is getting at a higher level within the academics. And I emphasize critical reading, first of all, like reading many publications concerning the topic. And then also I tell my students that life is not going to be as usual, like it has been, it will ever be. No, this is different. You are a learner, you're a student. And so they should do memoing. Like if you think about something, write it down. Even if it's in the night, you have a book where you can write down that idea so that you don't forget it. Even if it's from a reading, make sure that you note it down so that you don't again say that, oh, I wish I had. I don't remember where I got it and so on. Then another thing, after critical reading, I intend to take them through the effective writing skills, like, you know, once you've read a paragraph, there should be paraphrasing. Even if you've got it from the AI, yes, because it's there and it is there forever. Paraphrase. Try to summarize. Where are you going to make the quotes if you are to quote any paragraph or anything that has been said by the, so that you acknowledge that this is where I picked it. And as you write, continue writing, and then there should be reflective reading. Read and read and read, proofread your work and continue. Anyway, something.
Thanks, Prof. And finally, there was one more hand.
Thank you so much once again for the opportunity. I may not differ so much from what my colleagues have submitted, but I just want to give a methodology of encouraging writing to my students. This is how I do it. Like I earlier said that I ask a student at least to get me previous scholars, most recent, 10 of them. So to encourage writing, I'll ask my candidates, go make up what we call a literature review table. And in this, I want this candidate to extract for me who are those scholars he has read about. What, when, what are some of the methodologies that these people applied? What is the gap? And how are you intending to close these gaps? Where do you bring in your voice? Because we are not only looking at being descriptive or summarizing what other people have done, but where do you come in as the new researcher? So with this, I'm encouraging the candidate to do the work himself by reading and writing. Thank you so much.
Okay, colleague, let's clap for ourselves. Let's acknowledge ourselves. Thank you very much. Why I'm saying this is that I hope you realize how much resourceful we are within ourselves. And I hope that the conversations go on even monthly, or to guide everybody who is struggling, because we want to know, the fact is everybody is learning. And normally we learn from each other, like you can see, that's what we are doing. But truly speaking, yes, as one of us has said, writing is a continuous process, but we need to also guide and encourage, and there are many ways that we have talked about, and they are all here exactly what you've done. Keeping a research diary, keeping a logbook, encouraging short summaries from the literature that has been done, drawing concept maps, noting down your thoughts every time you have something to say, keeping a book that you're noting down, and also peer, the culture of exchange of drafts from one person to the other. Probably you have 2 or 3 candidates and you encourage them to share drafts and read from each other, and so that writing continues even as they are doing their own maybe little researches. We have also talked about helping formulating research questions. Some of these notes you can get them and just read. We were just highlighting, outlining methodology as a way of guiding the students towards research proposals, selecting methods that are feasible that support the research objectives, referencing. One of you said that you use EPA, now edition 7, and you ensure that they are doing their citations correctly, probably using the softwares that are available. Managing and handling research data. We are also guiding the students on how to manage and handle the research data, primary or secondary, whether qualitatively or quantitatively, determination of the sample size, anything to do actually with the methods. We are also guiding on realistic timeline. Some of the major issues are timelines. So we are also guiding on the timelines based on a detailed plan, outlining and discussing a reasonable, feasible timelines for different milestones. You have something to say? Okay. guiding the students on the duration it requires for particular collection tool, data collection tools, encouraging them to create a structured time for each particular milestones and the like. So our work is also to guide on the timeline. Sometimes we supervisors can easily complain that are a bit lazy. But remember, this could easily be their first project, you know? And so guiding on how to handle the timelines is essential. And then, again, drawing the students' attention to potential challenges and risks of the same. What challenges? You know, trying to foresee for them the challenges that could be there and guiding them accordingly. The PhD students are also mature students, so they have families. If they are ladies, maybe they are also still, taking care of the family line. That means they are getting children on the process, and these could easily be the challenges that they are likely to face, including money, including cultural situations. For example, it's a lady who has just begun, and the husband does not have a PhD, depending on where you come from. Culturally, probably in their culture, the man should always be at the top, and some frustrations would come in. Probably you want to also highlight that so that when it comes, they are able to know how to deal with it and many other issues that come with them. Probably we can also just go through some of these ones. Helping students to scope down. Is the topic too broad? So it's up to you. You cannot say that this is your topic, okay, deal with it. Your work is to help to scope down, even when some are adamant that it is working. You are the supervisor. You actually know when it's not working or when the scope is too much. Are there too many research questions? Is the study realistic in terms of data? Can the project be completed within that stipulated time? What is essential or what is even optional? What should be left out in that research and the like? So that is scaling down. And finally, coming up with a whole research project where you're looking at the scope, the quality, and the linkages to other students and researchers. I'm sorry, colleagues, I'm rushing, but at least this one thing we have been doing. I want us to discuss just something that is quite important, the roadblocks when developing, the problems that come in. You as a supervisor, you are very, very focused, but there are problems. And so what are the most common pitfalls, problems, you see, the roadblocks you have seen students encounter when now developing? The process now of developing, the actual doing of the project. What is this that you have seen common when they are doing their work? What are these pitfalls or roadblocks, or let us call them even problems, that have made the students not be able to continue? Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Before I respond to this, first of all, I wanted to say something about the writing process, because writing is not an easy thing. As we say, it is a process. And so, as a process, the supervisor has a very big responsibility, sometimes encouraging and supporting this student. Now, speaking from the perspective of the supervisor, the one you are talking about. Now, is where you have comments, and when you submit to the supervisor, the supervisor will be like, after reading what you have written, maybe there are typos, there are grammatical issues, and the like, and then you make comments like, how did you even think about enrolling for a PhD? What is this? So you you cultivate an environment of fear, really fear. So by the time the student comes to you, they are coming from that point of view. And therefore, some of them can even feel like giving up. So I think that it sounds small, but it is something very, very big. We have seen people who have not been very good, but after encouragement from their supervisors and other mentors around them, they have actually built their capacity and they are very productive out there in society. Now, getting to this one, some of the roadblocks when developing PhD projects. I think some students don't want to familiarize themselves with the PhD environment. Either they are reluctant or they just don't mind. For instance, every institution has something called guidelines. And that's the starting point. How do I structure what comes first, what comes last? How do I go about this? So I think many of them do not, even at the point of defense, you'll actually find that someone has a thesis, but when you look at it, it is actually, some aspects are presented contrary to the existing guidelines. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Let me take this opportunity also to add roadblock. There is the concept and design roadblock, where we sort of many programs at the same time, many variables, many districts, many everything. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, facilitator, once again. One of the biggest roadblocks is the gender differences. I don't want to shy away, but this is a very big problem. Take an example where the supervisee is a lady, the supervisor is a gentleman. And there is always that gender difference. The candidate is desperate. She wants to finish the course. This is a supervisor who is a gent and is demanding. Each time you bring work that does not conform to the requirements, he brings something on table. You get? So in the end, you become desperate. You either give in or you leave, and in the end, you're going to stay longer on the program. We have witnessed that. Sometimes we shy away to say so, but it is the bitter fact. So that's why some of the candidates don't even finish their courses. The supervisors are so demanding. The super supervisors in that element. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I have two issues which makes the roadblocks that we find. One of them is failure of supervisors to read through your work. At PhD, yes, you're interested in doing PhD, but you're not clear on what you need that guidance. You just write something, you say, maybe supervisor will guide me. I'm not also very clear, but this is what I want. You submit your work, they give you 1 month goes, nothing has happened, no response, no communication. You resubmit, when you follow up, resubmit, you resubmit, again no response, 3 months time is going. Then you either ask for a change of supervisor, or you just give out and I say, I think this one will fail. Because you actually need that guidance and it's not coming and you are confused. And then another thing, the student at times lacks enough time to get adequate knowledge about the area, to read about the area. So you have no time. We are doing many things, juggling, looking for money, family and all those things.
and sincerely have not gotten down to do more reading about what you want to do. So finally you are stuck.
Yes. There was someone here. Thank you. I think we have two issues here. We have maturity, where some people embark on PhDs before they mature. Yes. And this is why sometimes certain approaches are misinterpreted. And they end up being disparate, they mention this, they mention that. A lot of confusion arises. And so the supervisor now gets in a mix, where they have supervisors above them, the directorate is moderate in their work, but the student is not mature. Yes. Then the other one is the background, the researcher's background. Sometimes the students embark on a study when they have biases. So agreeing on what to focus on sometimes may take time. You say, let's focus this direction. He says, but it is this. Now you say, if you know it, then why do you get on it? I submit. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Members who are getting late.
I have to ask some points in as far as the roadblocks when the project. One, what I can refer to as the comparative, historical, and academic difference in a situation whereby the students have two or more supervisors. One supervisor says, "Me, I'm from Harvard. Me, I'm from Makerere." So now, the student finds him or herself in a hard situation. The other supervisor says, "No, this is not how I write it." Another one says, "No, this is not how I write it." So in a situation, in that kind of situation, the student gets confused, and as a result, may take a lot of time. And in connection with what the other colleague has said, personally, I've also faced that, and to make my PhD take longer time, because one of the supervisors was forcing me to accept his ideas, not my ideas, and always we are disagreeing. So it reached a point whereby I was moving with one supervisor, and yet the other one wants to put me down. So that kind of situation blocks.
Thank you. You really want to know pitfalls that students encounter developing their PhD. Earlier on, you were talked of the identification of the problem. And once that problem is properly identified, that's good. But during the course of writing, particularly in the area of problem statement and in objectives, you find students normally have problems there. They do not, go back to think about how they identify the problem. What is it that requires to be addressed? Is the main confusion we encounter.
Thank you. Two more, then we close this.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Now, what I'm addressing here as quite perplexing in research methodology and scientific research goes to the students who do quantitative approach in research, whereby they have to use instruments to measure their variables or constants. We have, that is quantitative and then also mixed methodology, because it also has both approaches, the quantitative and qualitative. Now, students, quite often, they develop their own instruments
when they are to collect data, especially for quantitative research. Now, the problem is our universities here, most of our universities don't cover this course unit, psychometrics. Whereas in Europe and other countries, at masters and PhD, they have to cover this course unit called psychometrics, because psychometrics is about how a student who is going to do quantitative research use the data for collecting that research, and also to evaluate the reliability and validity of an instrument to use. So what happens here in Uganda, we don't have that possibility, basically. Now, I would like to inform the public from today that there is an article which they should cover as supervisors. Now, this article is advancing psychometrics in Uganda, in Uganda's institutions of higher learning, with emphasis on structural equational model, which is called SAME in brief. Now, this is going to help, once you have the concepts, they are going to help you on how you can develop your own instrument following the different stages. Because the stages which you must follow when you are developing your instrument must combine the path analysis and factor analysis, which means in most of the scales which are developed by students here, whether it is at O-level, masters, or PhD. So what does this mean? That if you don't use a reliable, valid, and established, accepted tool, what you are producing, the knowledge, the results you are producing can be termed as unreliable and not valid. Okay? So, brothers and sisters, we have to introduce this course in psychometrics in our universities, especially at PhD and also at masters, to help those who would like to develop their own skills in order to proceed with their research. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof. And the last one.
Thanks very much, Professor, for the presentation you have made for us. The members have raised a point on relationship, and one of them was my dean. Thanks very much for raising that. But you see, research is about relationship. If I cannot relate to you well, things cannot work. Okay? So we have got to find a ground where can we agree, the supervisee and the supervisor. But that should start right from the beginning. You, the supervisee, you are not confident. You are fumbling, okay? You are gambling. So now, in that case, you put yourself in a very, very unsafe and secure situation. You feel insecure. And now the other person realizes that. So he takes advantage of that issue because you have no way. Some of you are already incompetent. So you think by being good to this person, you'll be able to achieve what you want. But by the way, you will not achieve that. Okay? So my advice is, and I do this with my students. I have graduated so far 3 PhD ladies. I have never had a problem, and some of them are here. Okay? I have never been involved in monetary or non-monetary affairs. Why? You see, I have set my standards. You as a leader, set a standard. I am going to do this, I will do it like this. But if you don't have standards, then you are useless. And people will take advantage of you. Now, the other point which I have noted in this relationship here is laissez-faire. At Nkumba we say, don't follow a student. Let the student decide what to do and when to do it. Me, I don't do that. I tell my student, please, where are you? I have not seen you for 1-2 months. Are you still with me or not? Okay? So this laissez-faire is also a bad thing on our side. And it makes the students relax. The other one is imposter syndrome, where a student is weak, where a supervisor is weak. So we don't come to terms to explain what is wrong or not. So let us be open. Please, me on this point, as I supervise you, I have weakness here. Can you contact Dr. So-and-so or Professor So? Me, as a student, I cannot do this. Can I please go and talk to another professor? Okay? So those are the two issues which we have and I see as a problem. Laissez-faire and then imposter syndrome. But the issue of this gender whatever it is, it's you the guys who are responsible. Because you are not what? Sure of yourselves. And you have other issues, I don't know, which I don't want to explain here. Thank you, Professor.
Well noted, Prof. We will improve. Thank you. But luckily, in the next module, the fourth module, relationship between supervisor and supervisee, and how to cultivate that good relationship to ensure that we are able to move. Gender issues are always a bit sticky, that's a fact. And I think it is upon us now as supervisors to see how we can drive a good relationship rather than the other way around. And truth be told, I think when a student comes as a PhD student, honestly they are doubting whether they're even capable. You know, it's like a leap of faith. I want to do a PhD, I don't know whether I'm good enough. Yes? And there is one gentleman that talked about the feedback that you give the student. It will either break them or make them. It will either show whether they will go on or not. It will even cultivate a particular relationship depending on the feedback of the supervisor and how they say it. And anyway, we are going to discuss that later. So we've talked about many roadblocks, and why are we talking about the roadblocks? Is that we are able to anticipate and see how we can mitigate to ensure that our students finish. I am surprised I think here you say that the student will look for you when they look for you. For us, I think the way we are told, I'm in private but I've also been in public universities, is that sometimes it is the responsibility of the supervisor to honestly know what is happening to their student. You might be surprised. You might keep quiet and so the student died. How will you feel? Then you say that student is lazy. Then 5 years later you hear that by then that student died a long time ago. Yeah? Or the student is having quite a number of problems, including mental issues right now. And probably as a supervisor, you're in a position to encourage. Because of the many problems there are, you are in a position to encourage. Maybe the student is suffering from writer's block. And yes, imposter syndrome, am I worthy of even a PhD anyway? Probably they have their own traumas. Probably they've been told they cannot achieve anything and they believed it, but they think they can. As supervisor, we have so much responsibility and so many roles. It's the way we say a mother is a nurse, is a cook, is an entertainer, is everything. It's as if we wear all that. Our issue is, am I able to at least ensure my student completes and we end up with a good relationship? Remember that the same student, Prof. said, there are people here supervised and they are here. One day, it's a supervisee. Tomorrow is your dean. The kind of relationship you cultivated from the word go will actually dictate how you move on. Yeah? And there are so many aspects, but the roadblocks are there, and there are quite a number. You can just go through the notes just to give you other ideas. You've talked about all of them. Inadequacy, even just coming up with objectives, inadequate theoretical approach, and we've just come up with the ones that could be there and many more. And you can get the notes because we have discussed, and then we can continue with the same conversation. So what is the takeaway from this module? That we can also use visual maps to help our students identify different positions in their field. Times have changed. The way we were supervised, if we tried out that, it won't work in this century. I don't know how your Gen Z looks like, but in Kenya, our Gen Zs are something else. We cannot employ the same methods. It won't work. Actually, we will be the losers, you know? Who is going to take over us after we have retired? We need them. And so we need them to do it, but we also need to recognize there are other many ways we can have to ensure that these roadblocks can be mitigated. Writing as a thinking tool. I liked the lady who said, place a book there or a pen there, whatever you think, write, whatever comes to your mind. If it is at 3 a.m., if it is right, it is look like a thinking tool. Interactive feasibility planning. Supervisors must take an active role in assessing if the research questions are realistic regarding time, resource, data. That means you know your student well to know when the resources are inadequate for this student, and you are able to guide. And then finally, proactive project management. Use detailed timelines with milestones and regular checkpoints to mitigate common roadblocks like broad scoping, inadequate methodology, and even relationships that we come up with. And yes, at least now I was standing in between you and lunch. So we can now go for lunch, I guess. But thank you for your
We want to have a prayer for lunch. I think it is important. Let me give you a microphone to Professor Nkumba to lead us.
Thank you, presenter. And may I request the group to stand?
Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant pluralism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools, the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrills with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Mpowe Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant pluralism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools: the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design. Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrives with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Mpowe Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant tourism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools: the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design. Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrills with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant pluralism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools, the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrills with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant tourism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools, the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrives with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way. Nkumba engages with the communities and partners globally because learning doesn't stop at the borders. As the academic landscape continues to evolve, Nkumba University remains steadfast in implementing its strategic master plan, a bold blueprint meant to drive innovation, advance research, promote academic excellence, and prioritize students' well-being. At the heart of this transformation stands the Nkumba Students' Hostel Village, a modern state-of-the-art residential complex designed to be more than just accommodation, but rather a home away from home, offering breathtaking amenities, comfort, security, and a vibrant living environment where students can thrive academically and grow socially. Join Nkumba University today, discover your purpose, build your future, and become part of the global transformation. Nkumba University, I owe you. Amidst hundreds of amenities within Uganda's vibrant tourism city of Entebbe lies a beacon of academic excellence. Welcome to Nkumba University, one of Uganda's leading private universities, strategically located minutes away from Entebbe International Airport. Established in 1994 and chartered in 2006, Nkumba University has grown from a 1952 kindergarten to a vocational institute and eventually one of the leading higher institutions of learning shaping Uganda's future. Comprising of 7 schools, the School of Law, the School of Business Administration, the School of Education, the School of Sciences, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Computing and Informatics, and the School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design, Nkumba equips learners with in-demand, practically relevant skills. Thousands graduate each year, joining a powerful alumni network of professionals, leaders, and innovators. Nkumba alumni are positioned in government, media, business, and arts, symbolic of the university's societal impact. Beyond the classroom, students' life thrives with cultural festivals, exhibitions, sports tournaments, and creativity that never sleeps. Modern facilities and digital infrastructure support both academic and personal growth at every step of the way.